My name is Courtney Moody, and I am class of 2020 UCF Online Alumna from the English Creative Writing Program. And I am joined here today by Joanie Sather, who is from the UCF Online Connect Center, and she is the Director of Student Coaching. And we are going to talk a little bit today about what student coaching is and how it can benefit you, the UCF Online students. So first of all, thank you so much, Joanie, for being with us today, for representing UCF Online. Can you just start us off by telling us a little bit about what you do as the Director of Student Coaching?
Yeah, absolutely. So I really helped design the coaching program that we use as far as how we've laid it out for our unit and how we support our students. So I have a team of student success coaches that are working with all of our UCF Online students, and I help provide the coaching to them that they in turn then integrate into their coaching with the students. So it's a combination of handling the operations of our center and constantly staying on top of partnership with our programs that we support and coaching my staff, essentially.
So in your experience, and even outside of UCF, if you have experience from other places and from UCF too, what differences have you noticed between students that do take advantage of coaching and those that don't? Is there a difference there?
There definitely is. This is actually my third institution that I've worked with student success coaching. I feel like I started this more than 10 years ago when it was sort of becoming something new. And I've seen it evolve over time, but one thing that hasn't changed is that students who receive coaching support, whether they realize they're receiving it or not, are more empowered. And so a lot of people misunderstand that coaching is hand-holding and being there to tell students what to do every step of the way so they don't learn how to do things on their own. But it's actually the opposite of that. It's actually taking a big decision, a lot of decisions that happen along the way, and helping students break things down so that they can be more organized, effective with their time, understand what their options are and what potential challenges may come up before they even come to them, so that they can be prepared. And students who receive this type of support and receive feedback from coaches who have experience find that they're more prepared to deal with things as they come up. They're less surprised. They've put good habits into place to help them feel less stressed and less overwhelmed with adding school into their life, and they retain better.
A lot of people may feel that student coaching is like hand-holding or having things done for them. I think that's a big perception. And because of that, a lot of online students feel like they're self-sufficient because we have to be, because you're doing your online coursework, but you don't have a professor right there making you do the work. You don't have other classmates there to help push you along. You have to be the one. You are accountable. And I think because of that, students often write off student coaching and say, well, why do I need that? I can do all of this on my own. So if a student is feeling self-sufficient, why should they still reach out to a success coach? How can that still be beneficial to them?
I love to answer this question, because if you think about your experience as a student, I think I understand that you were yourself a self-sufficient student and that didn't necessarily feel like you needed extra help. But if you think about a coach as sort of a partner with you in your experience, I'm sure that you had people that you had support you in various ways while you were in school, even if it wasn't a student success coach, somebody that you could talk to about, oh, this is how I'm feeling right now. Or have you somebody else that maybe you're going to school with who you're sharing your experiences, or have you done this, or what have you done in this situation? You think about you think about the experience of everybody wants to feel validated and everybody wants to feel understood and to know that they're not alone. And coaching provides some community for a student so that they're not alone, particularly when you're online and you can feel disconnected and you don't necessarily know what you don't know. And we do have a lot of students who are self-sufficient and confident, and they do, really well. But isn't it nice to hear someone say, "You're doing so awesome. Good job. Keep doing it," So there's a lot of value in having a coach, even if you don't necessarily need them to point out something you're doing wrong or that you could do better. They can be there to cheer you on. They can be there even to just be somebody that you can bounce ideas or things off of. That never hurts to have another person that's in your corner supporting you. Especially because our coaches tend to already have had this experience themselves and can really relate and offer information to students that's based on their own experience. And that's valuable to anybody, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think it sounds like it would be especially valuable for students who maybe don't have as much of a support system. I mean, everyone has their family, they may have, or their friends but their friends may not be going to the same school, so they may not understand. Or even if their parents haven't been to college and they are a first-time student, they can be totally self-sufficient, be doing great, but it's still nice to have that support. Mm-hmm. Or if your parents, say, did get their degrees, but they were in a different field. Like, I know I did creative writing, but my parents are very science-based. So a lot of times I couldn't really talk to them about what my program was because while they're supporting me, they don't really understand where I'm coming from. So I think it sounds like a success coach would be useful in cases like that.
A success coach is useful in any way that a lot of ways that you can't even imagine, because everybody's situation is unique. So something that a success coach brings to any interaction is that they come into it neutral with no preconceived notions about this person, what they should be accomplishing, what they should be doing. This is a third party, which is oftentimes why someone will even see like a life coach or a counselor, just somebody to be part of the experience that is just there for them in a space where they're completely open to hearing where this person is coming from and what they need, and being able to ask the right questions to help the student think through things that maybe they hadn't thought through before, or just challenges them to think in different ways. Even if you do have a support system, most of the time those are people that know you already, or they're coming in from their own experience of you or from their own experience of themselves in school. So it is nice to have that person who's a little bit more objective, that will bring up things that give the student a different perspective. And even if you don't necessarily need a coach now, it's still good to establish a relationship with your coach and at least know who that person is and have some check-ins. Or coaching doesn't have to be really intense coaching sessions. It can really just be, quick, this is what's going on with me. Do you have anything to add that could potentially be helpful or that I'm not thinking of? It could be, just quick things like that. But even if you don't feel like you need one now, you don't know for sure what will come up and if you might need more in the future. So it's great to establish that and have it there if you need more intense help somewhere down the line.
That's great. That's so valuable. Can you tell us a little bit from the success coach perspective? What makes a really great success coach?
I found that the best success coaches are coming from a background of they want to be of service to others. And a lot of them have come into being a success coach because they were in a situation themselves as students where they don't want other students to have to face what they faced. That's exactly how I came to become a success coach many years back, and how I've kind of evolved in my career over time. I didn't start out thinking I was going to be a success coach when I started going to college, But my experiences as a non-traditional student trying to fit school in, and just those feelings of despair of like, is this ever going to end? Am I ever going to actually do this? So I had a success coach, and realized that it wasn't until I had my success coach about 8 years into my education that I really finally got some traction and finished. And most of our success coaches come from experiences like that, where somebody made a difference to them and they want to pass it on. So the best success coaches are very student-centric focused. They have empathy. They a lot of times come from backgrounds of counseling or some type of coaching background, where they already understand the idea behind that there's a difference between advising and coaching. So advising is more of the what, this is what you need to do. And as coaches, what we do is, okay, how does that look for you? You have your plan, you have your classes, you know what you're supposed to do, but that doesn't necessarily mean you know how to do it. So coaches think from a perspective of, okay, here is the information and the facts. What, helping people look at, what does this look like for you? And so coaches really need to be very open. And like I had said previously, coaches really are objective. They're not bringing themselves into it unless they're relating to the student in some way. So the student feels like, yeah, I've been there. I empathize with where you're coming from. But really coaches are great listeners, empathetic, want to help, and good at asking questions, listening well to ask the right questions so that the student can think through the right path for themselves.
That's great. And it's so great that we have coaches like that here at UCF who can listen, can hear what you're going through, or can make you feel better saying, I've been there before. That's so valuable. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us what your favorite part of your job is, being the director of student coaching?
I'm so passionate about student success coaching. The value of, I don't know if everybody understands how valuable it is to have a service that people pay for, life coaching that helps people prioritize and organize and set goals to accomplish the things that they want to accomplish in their life. We're essentially doing that in the form of offering that to students so that they can set goals, prioritize, engage well with the material that they're learning so that they can be the best student as possible. And the whole idea behind that is not that you get your degree, but that what are you going to do with it when you finish? What are you going to contribute to the community and the world when you're done? So I feel like coaching is really helping people learn how to be the best version of themselves, not just finish a degree, but actually like really embrace, okay, this is what it means to be better and to plan better and to persist and use, develop grittiness that helps me, get through other challenges in life, not just school. I mean, learning how to do school successfully is learning how to do life successfully. So I just love in my job that I'm able to help people learn. I love coaching my coaches and having them feel inspired like I am. To help students feel inspired that this is not the end all be all, your degree. This is what you're doing here, and the experience that you have is going to impact the person that you become later. So I guess that's just my favorite part, is just I am passionate about what we do, and I'm passionate about the impact that it can make on people, and that is exciting to me.
So it seems like success coaching is something that can just be a really valuable asset. Even if you think you might not necessarily need it, you should maybe go ahead and reach out to your success coach. They may be a lot more valuable than you think. Mm-hmm, that definitely. You're coming into it. They have a lot to offer you.
Mm-hmm. I encourage everybody to reach out, and if nothing else, we're very friendly and can help guide you to other tools and resources that you could also find beneficial as well, aside from just coaching.
Thank you so much for being with us today and for representing the UCF Online Connect Center.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.